Hey people, I forgot to mention in the video that when I use the term redneck, it's in no way derogatory or anything like that. I use it to mean creative and inventive and doing things in a cost-effective way and everything positive. So, on to the redneck fix for a pinhole leak in plumbing. Hey people, had a leak down here the other day. You can see where these pipes were joined. This is a ranch style house, so everything, the plumbing is a nice clear run. It starts over there where the hot water heater is and runs right along here, goes through that wall into the master bedroom extension where the master bedroom was added on. So it's a nice long run. But so here's the pipes had frozen when the house was vacant, when the former owner was, well, he died eventually, and then his adult children my age sold the house. So anyway, they just ran new pipe and left this old one hanging here, and then the insulation is right out here. So the leak was a little over further here. And I just turned the water off for a couple of days to let things dry out down here. It's still pretty wet, and it is a basement, so it's humid and it dries slow. So my first thought was, before I peeled this insulation off, was to go to the hardware store and get some shock bite. I forgot the name of the one. The piece that's about 4 or 5 inches long, and it's basically used for repairing pinhole leaks. So I figured, it's the weekend of course, and I figured I'd get the insulation off here first just to see what I need for sure before I figured out that I needed, picked up the wrong piece. No sense in that, and I have to go back. So I took the insulation off, and it turns out that there was a pinhole leak, just as expected, and it's right up there. And obviously that's not shock bite. That is a piece of a hose repair kit. And I've been doing this using those things for quite some time. They're more difficult to come by these days because now sometimes they're putting those pipe clamp things in there instead of these little plastic jobs. And they used to even come in metal, and now they're plastic jobs, and with 2 screws. And when you put it on there, you put one screw a little bit and tighten the other a little bit, and just tighten and snug it up there, and plumbing comes in the same sizes as the garden hose. Let me just bring this down here. This is the kind of thing we're dealing with. I'm running out of these things. I have the screw in there. They're these things. You put this part in the hose, and then you put that on there to hold it. But it does, if you look on the inside, you'll see it's got these little ridges right around here on both sides. So I have used it plain like this, but I have some of this, it's like rope caulk. It comes on spools. I got it in a weatherization kit. So I just take some of that, soften it up a little bit, and then put that on here, and it stays very nicely all by itself. And then you put it around the pipe, and then depending on where your pinhole is, you put it on this side or on this side. I had it on this side when I was doing it because my screws were facing this way. And then you put your screws in, and you tighten up the same way if you were doing lug nuts or something. You a little bit on each side so it tightens evenly. And so anyways, instead of spending $8 or $10 on a shark bite, I have, as you see, new drippage. And that'll last for quite some time. This is a 62-year-old house, same as me. 53 it was built. And it has this issue. In this case, I think it's iron we have here in the pipes. But it's not uncommon around here in the Catskills where people have this problem. My buddy knows a guy who put all copper in his house, and his was a new construction that he built himself. And then the copper, little by little, started like that. I have a bunch of PEX over here because the leak into the pinholes start out closest to the well. We got a little additional light. There's my pump. Pumping out of the well like that. Force water down. That's about 50 feet deep. And then here's the holding tank. I got it up on a table now, which is a little helpful. It used to be down on the floor, and then came the flood. And as soon as the water came up in 2006, it just ripped all the pipes up, and I was days and days without water. So somewhere up here is where I have, there's one right there. That leads to the garden hose outside. And here's all the PEX. I mean, little by little, he started replacing with PEX. The plumber did this. But for the cost of bringing a plumber in, you might just as well use shark bites. I mean, this guy only charges me $40, but still. So there's PEX going across there. And then it comes down to here. And then there's the coupling, PEX to copper. And then of course, not that much further down the line is where the leak was. So, if I have to do something again, I'll cut the PEX here. And then go PEX to PEX with a shark bite. And just hopefully go right through that wall down there, right under the master bathroom. And then if something goes wrong after that, I have access to it from a crawl space under the master bedroom suite. So anyway, it's a helpful little tip to be able to save $1 or $40 in this case. A joint. May your pipes be better than mine.